Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs session. So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. Yeah, first one, Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, very important article. So this is part of schemes and policies. Then World Population Prospects Report. So this is related to the social issues, right? Especially those who are writing some exams, state PSC exams. For example, you can take Telangana state PSC exam. You have social issues in the lot of things. So there you can use this data and what is the issues and all, right? So we'll see this report details. Then we have Saras crane. This is part of the species environment this is part of environment, right? Next one, CHAPEA project of NASA. This is part of science and technology. Fine. Next one, AgriSure initiative of NABARD. So this is part of agriculture. You can take agri or you can take geography as well, right? Next one, Sustainable Development Goals India Index 2023-24. This was released by Niti Aayog yesterday only. So very important document this is. We have 17 pages of the document, right? It is very difficult to discuss in a single article. So briefly, what are all the key features which are relevant for our exam? We will discuss here, and a separate video will be uploaded with the all minute facts and all. So if we keep on discussing those things, it will be a little bit hectic as well. It is very lengthy, right? So we will discuss the features of the report and then key statistics, which is very, very important for our exam. So this is part of, you can again say, social issues. Right? Then comes the factual pointers and finally practice questions, right? So these are all the ones which we are going to discuss today. I hope my voice as well as video is clear. Very good evening, Santosh, Keshav and Sahana. Let's start with the first article, that is Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Why we have taken this article is, this is taken from Press Information Bureau, PIB, right? Recently, the Union Health Minister, J.P. Nadda, has reviewed the progress of this particular scheme, right? Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. We will see in detail about this article. This is a little bit lengthier one because there is a lot of subcontent. We need to discuss about the objectives and what are all the organizations which were involved in the implementation as well, right? So let's see the features about this, more details about it. So Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJAY, has the objective. We will discuss of the objective. I mean, for what purpose this scheme is being implemented. That is called as the objective, right? The objective is to provide the health facilities for the deserved, I mean the poor people in all respect, like primary, secondary and tertiary level. Primary health means a very basic level like delivery, all those things for women, child care. Then secondary means a little bit more advanced like communicable disease, and tertiary means it is highly advanced like cancer treatment and all. So all these things will be covered and all the people in India to have a proper health, right? So that is the theme or the core objective of this particular scheme. So to achieve the vision of universal health coverage, that means each individual, it can be elders, it can be youth, it can be children, it can be women. So everyone wants to be provided with the universal health coverage. Like in the Western countries, if you see, the out-of-pocket expenditure, that means whatever the health-related expenditure are very less from the individuals. Everything is taken care by the government itself. But in India, we are spending 67% of the total expenditure from our own pocket. So government contribution is just 33%, right? That's why government now aiming to bring this particular scheme, or it has been brought previously. It has been more than 5 years, right? So to aim to reduce out-of-pocket expenditure and covering every individual from India to have a health, right? That is the core objective of this particular scheme. To implement this, government has targeted 10 crore families. 10 crore families means you can multiply it with 4.5 or 5 approximately on an average of size of the family. So it covers 50 crore beneficiaries. 50 crore. Individually it is 50 crore, but families are 10 crore families they are aiming to cover, right, under this particular scheme. And the data, who will be getting this benefit? It is not for everyone. Government cannot give free health for everyone, for rich and all, right? So only eligible people will be getting the benefits under the scheme. And who are all those beneficiaries? those beneficiaries were identified from socio-economic caste census. This was conducted by Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Rural Development in 2011, right? This is not a census, rather this is a caste census, socio-economic caste census conducted by Ministry of Rural Development. So under that, whoever are the beneficiaries, we will see the eligibility also, only those will get the benefits under the scheme. And this scheme is aiming to cover 5 lakh per family per year. So for every family, 5 lakhs will be provided each year, right? So whatever the issues that required, this 5 lakhs will be allocated and the solutions will be resolved, right? So that is the coverage of the scheme. Now, who are all the eligible beneficiaries that we have already just seen? That from socio-economic caste census, those people who belong to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, because mostly the underprivileged, right? Those historically being backward, those are from scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So for all those people, this scheme is giving the benefit. Then families with no earning member above the 16 years of age. So that particular family should not have any individual who is working, right? Who is more than 16 years and who is working. Of course, if the income of this individual is less than 2.5 lakh, then yes, they are eligible, right? All the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes are eligible. Second thing, the earning person should not be there in that family, but even if it is there, his or her earning should be less than 2.5 lakh. So that is also one important criteria, right? The criteria based question was asked in civil services. I will show you at the last, right? Civil service prelims examination. They have asked about this eligibility itself. We will see at the end, right? So this is what there is no restriction on family size or age or gender. So if it is family size is 8, 9, they also are covered under the scheme, right? There is no restriction of family size. All pre-existing conditions are covered. That means even before the implementation of the scheme, if there is a issues in the individuals, those are also covered under the scheme, eligible under the scheme, right? Now, there are 2 components of the scheme. So this is the Ayushman Bharat scheme. Say for example, Ayushman Bharat scheme. Under this, there are 2 components, right? This is Ayushman Bharat scheme, the bigger circle, and the first component is health and wellness centers. Health and wellness centers, HVCs. This is taken care by the primary health. These health and wellness centers will take care of primary health, right? Primary health sector is under health and wellness center. Next, second one is Pradhan Mantri. Second component is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJAY. This is for secondary and tertiary. This is for secondary and tertiary, right? So health and wellness centers are to take care of the primary health, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is to cover for the secondary and tertiary health, right? Yeah, very good evening Shanti and Malini. So these are the 2 components, right? In this primary health and wellness center, they will take care of the primary health care, and this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana will take care of secondary and tertiary health care. For this particular scheme, 5 lakh per family are given. This is a separate one, right? Within Ayushman Bharat, health and wellness centers are developed with all the free costs, right? At the primary healthcare centers. Now, this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is given with 5 lakh per family, right? So this is to take care of the secondary and tertiary healthcare. And whatever the expenditure that are incurred by the persons during their weakness, whatever the disease and all, it covers up to 3 days of pre-treatment. Say for example, I have spent some money even before getting my money from the government. So I have to spend my own money. So that bills also I can submit, whatever the disease that was reported on that particular day, 3 days before whatever expenditure that was occurred in treating that, the government will take care. And after the treatment, 15 days. So pre-hospitalization, 3 days, and then post-hospitalization, 15 days. Whatever the expenses that you incurred, government will take care, right? So that is also an important point. And these benefits can be portable across the country. That means if you are from one state, say for example Tamil Nadu, but you are in Uttar Pradesh, so you can portable it, right? The government even allows that. That is also an important feature. And the funding, centrally sponsored, that means 60% of fund is given by the center and 40% is by state. So states has to spend 40% of this total scheme budget, right? And if it is northeast states, if they are northeast states and special category states, 90% fund will be given by the center itself and 10% these states has to take care. And who is implementing this scheme? Ayushman Bharat. This is implemented by National Health Authority. Earlier it was called as National Health Agency, but now this was renamed as National Health Authority, which will take care of the implementation, right? Now, as part of this mission, government also came up with Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission Program. This Ayushman Bharat was launched in 2019, but as part of Ayushman Bharat scheme, they have launched Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. Okay, that is also important to be understood. This is a sub-scheme under Ayushman Bharat, where there will be a single digital account will be created. For example, I have taken a treatment in one hospital on particular date. That will be recorded digitally in a database. Then if I get a treatment in somewhere else, that will be recorded. So everything will be recorded and they know the progress of the disease or whatever, the health, whatever I have taken care from different hospitals, everything will be noted under single database. So the doctors will know the previous treatment and what to be taken care from that particular things, and then accordingly they can suggest. This was launched in September 2021. Right? So this is also important. It aims to create a digital health ID. So I have told you about single database where everything that we take care from the treatment will be created in terms of a ID card with all the database. Right? Health ID will be issued for each individual under the particular scheme. And all the details like whatever the disease that has been incurred, which doctor has been treated, right? Whatever the test that I have taken, everything will be recorded in that particular ID. But anyway, this ID is not a mandatory, it is a voluntary. Whether if you want, then only they cannot. Because there is a misuse also, there may be possible of misuse also. If the beneficiary don't want to get the database or ID card, it is voluntary. So there is no mandatory thing. And health ID will be free of cost, right? That is also one important. National Health Authority again is a implementing agency, right? One more scheme they have launched, that is Digital Health Incentive Scheme. Digital Health Incentive Scheme. In this scheme, government is encouraging the hospitals, health centers to collect the data and make a health IDs, right? This particular scheme is to encourage the beneficiaries to get a health ID. This particular scheme was given for doctors, hospitals, whoever encourages. So based on the data that they are collecting and adding into the health IDs, they will be getting the health incentives from the government. So as the number of health IDs increases, the hospital or diagnostic centers will get more incentives from the government. So government is aiming to collect the data so that this will be synchronized. The treatment will be in a synchronized manner with the previous doctor and the present doctor. So this is also one more sub-scheme. Fine. So this we have already seen. And lastly, National Health Authority. National Health Authority. So this is the organization which is implementing all this Ayushman Bharat, everything under the scheme, this is being implemented. So this is a replacement of the National Health Agency. Earlier there is a National Health Agency, but now it was replaced with the National Health Authority. This was asked in one of the railway exams recently, that which organization is taking care of the implementation of the Ayushman Bharat scheme. This was launched in January 2019. It is an attached office under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So they may also ask you about the ministry which is taking care, right? It is headed by the Chief Executive Officer with the secretary level rank, right? So that is about the Ayushman Bharat scheme. A little bit lengthier one, 15 minutes it took, but yes, it is a very, very important article you need to know. We have seen Ayushman Bharat, and then within that primary, secondary, health and wellness center take care of the primary, and then Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana take care of secondary and tertiary, and then we have seen Ayushman Bharat, the digital health mission, and then digital healthcare subcomponent, and then finally National Health Authority which is implementing. I hope this is clear. Is it clear? Okay, next one. World Population Prospects Report 2024. World Population Prospects Report 2024. This report was released by United Nations Department of Economic and Social Welfare. So it was released by UN DESA. It is released by UN DESA, right? So World Population Prospects Report. They may also ask you this in the exam directly. Which organization has released the report recently? A very important fact. Now, what is the report about? There are some important data that is required to be remembered for our exam. First thing, world's population is going to reach the peak. That means now population is an increase thing. So once they reach the peak, there will be a decline of the population, right? So this is called as the peak growth of population. This was noted to be 10.3 billions. So currently we are having 8.2 billions. That means 820 crore population is there across the world. It is going to reach up to 10.3. That means more than 1,000 crores. More than 1,000 crores of population are going to be reached by mid of 2080. So we are in 2024. By the mid of 2080s, we are going to reach more than 1,000 crores. After that, there will be a decline, right? So that is one fact to be remembered. Next one, fertility rate. What is fertility rate? You need to know the definition also. This was asked this year, CSP 2024. They have simply asked the definition. Civil service prelims. What is total fertility rate? They have asked, right? So fertility rate means the number of children a woman in her lifespan gives birth to. So how many children a woman can give birth to in her reproductive age, right? So that is called as the reproductive year or the total age. Both are fine, right? So that is called as the total fertility rate. Now, per woman, like if you are dividing, so nobody can give 2.25, but yes, this is an average. One presently we are 2.25, but a woman can on an average is giving birth to 2.25 live births now currently, which was earlier it was 3.31, right? India, it is just 2 now. In India, it is 2 total fertility rate. That means a woman can give only 2 children on an average. So this was the world average 2.25. In 1990, it was 3.31. So we are able to reduce. Next is life expectancy. This is also important definition. What is life expectancy? Life expectancy means at the time of birth of a child, how many average years of the whole world, right? So life expectancy means what is the number of years a person is expected to live on earth. So that is the life expectancy, right? Currently, on an average, the world has reached 73.3 years, right? On an average, a person can live on earth 73.3 years in 2024. In 1995, it was less than 8.4. That means if you reduce from it, it is around 65 years in 1995. Because of the increase in the health care sector and all, we were able to increase the life expectancy to 73.3 years. So this is also important fact. Next data is early pregnancies. Early pregnancies means less than 18 years. Usually the marriage age for women across the world, not only in India, is 18 years. So any pregnancy more or less than 19 years, right? 18 years, 9 months you can take. 18 years, 9 months. So any pregnancy before 18 years, 9 months is considered as a early pregnancy, right? So currently we are having 4.7 million babies. That means 1,010,000 lakhs. So approximately 47 lakh babies are being born before 18 years age of the mother. So that means there is a early pregnancies which we have to reduce, right? So it amounts to 3.5% of the total pregnancies that is occurring. And coming to the India, the report said that we are going to reach our peak in the early 2060. So from here till maybe 40 years, 35 to 40 years, we are going to reach the peak, right? And then we are going to see the reduced population from India. All these facts are important for our exam. Yes, Santi, you are correct. I hope that is clear with all the definition and the data as well. Coming to the next article, that is Saras crane. Recently, the summer census in Uttar Pradesh has revealed that there is an increase in Saras crane species in Uttar Pradesh, right? So this was noted, and Saras crane is a state bird of the Uttar Pradesh. Especially from the people who are from Uttar Pradesh, you have to remember that the Saras crane is the state animal of Uttar Pradesh, right? The number has increased. Now we need to know about the facts as well. This is the tallest flying bird in the world. A very important fact. This is the tallest bird which is, in the world. Tallest flying bird. That means among the tallest ones, this is the one which can fly, right? So this is one important fact. They live in Southeast Asia and northern India and some parts of North Australia. You can see here the green marks. The green marks are the regions where they can live in the world. So this is a distribution of these species among the world, right? So this is one thing. And they live mainly in wetlands. The wetlands means any agriculture fields, lakes, ponds, all those are called as wetlands. They highly live near the canals, marshes, ponds and all, and they are very friendly to humans. So they live near the humans only, right? And the height, it has 150 to 156 centimeters tall, right? So our human height itself is a 160 centimeters. So approximately it is high up to humans, right? And the weight is approximately 8 kgs, right? This is the weight. They are regarded as the least social crane species found mainly in the pairs, right? That means their interaction is very less among those species itself, right? That is also one important fact. Their conservation status is vulnerable in IUCN and Schedule 4 in our Wildlife Protection Act. You can see here they are listed as vulnerable. As we move up, there is a high threat to those. So it is a vulnerable ones. This is a fact. Very short article, factual data, you just need to remember. Any doubts? I hope that is clear. It is a very factual one. Next article is about CHAPEA project. CHAPEA project. It is a short form of Crew Health Performance Exploration Analog. Okay. So it is a shortcut for Crew Health Performance Exploration Analog, CHAPEA project. Fine. So on July 6th, a few days before, this mission, whatever the people, like 4 people were staying in a closed Mars-like condition, right? So in the, where is this is located? In the USA, yes, here it is. It is located in the Johnson Space Center, Houston near Texas. So in Texas, they have created a lab where it replicates the environment of Mars, right? Whatever the conditions that are situated in the Mars in terms of temperature, pressure, all those things, they have created this in a lab, right? And then they have tested this environment, right? So this project is to stimulate like a Mars-like condition and then knowing how the humans can live there, right? So that is the objective of this mission, and this was located in the Texas, United States. It aims to study the long duration Mars mission, so how the crew health can possible in the Mars, because in future we are going to reach to the moon, Mars and many more, right? Humans are going to reach in the many of the planets region. For that purpose only we are simulating here the same environment in the Earth's surface, so that they will learn and accordingly it will be easy for humans to collect the data. So that is the objective of this mission, and this was launched by NASA of USA. That is also one important fact. Fine. This is located in Texas, we have already seen, and in this lab we have a space of approximately 1700 square feet, and all the activities like bathrooms, bedrooms, or robot station, gym, common study area, all these were created within the mission, right? So the objective is to stimulate Mars-like condition and then enable humans to live there, so that we will also know the condition, we will also train them to those conditions. That is the objective launched by NASA, right? So this is called as Mars Dune Alpha, the lab name. The lab name is Mars Dune Alpha. This is also important. Sometimes they may ask you, Mars Dune Alpha is what? Recently seen in news. It is an artificial lab in USA to test the conditions of Mars, right? And enable scientists to live there for certain period. Any doubts in this? I hope that is clear. Next one about AgriSure project. AgriSure. The full form is Agri Fund for Startups and Rural Enterprises, right? you know that there are a lot of startups coming. It is not just about big companies like Tata, Infosys, right? Reliance and all. Many startups are coming, small startups, which actually are contributing a lot to our economy. But most of the startups are focusing on the service sector, like whether in terms of education or whether in terms of software, right? So service sector was the most dominant one. The startups in agriculture are very less. So to encourage them, NABARD has allocated 750 crore towards the AgriSure fund, where this fund is going to be allocated to the startups to encourage their participation in the agriculture sector, right? So those are called as the agri-ventures, right? This 750 crore they are going to give to the startups and all to encourage them to generate the innovation as well as technology in the agriculture sector, right? This fund will be managed by NUB Ventures, a subsidiary of NABARD. So within NABARD there is a NUB Ventures which is going to take care of this fund, right? And the target beneficiaries, as we have discussed, it is startups, agripreneurs, rural enterprises. So it is aiming to encourage the technology and whatever like innovations in the agriculture sector through startup, right? So that is about the AgriSure project. You need to know who has launched this, what is the objective, how much fund is there, right? Who is managing this fund? All these things are important. Any doubt in this? Now, the last article and the most important article for today is Sustainable Development Goals of India Index 2024. You can expect a lot of questions from this report. This is the 4th edition released by the government. So first edition has come in 2018 and then in 2020 and then 2022 and now the 2024 we got the 4th edition. So for every 2 years they are releasing the report. Now what is this report about? Before knowing this report, let's know about the Sustainable Development Goals. The world under United Nations has kept 17 set of goals to achieve by 2030. So by the end of 2030, we need to achieve certain important goals for whole world to remain as a more sustainable earth, right? Some of them are like you can see here, some important ones are no poverty. The first sustainable development goal is we should not have any poverty by 2030. There should be zero hunger. Everyone should get the food, right? No person should be suffer from hungry, right? And then good health and well-being, third sustainable development goals, and then quality education, gender equality. So there are total 17 goals. They are asking in the exam also. You can just go through them and you can remember as well, right? So these are the 17 set of sustainable development goals where the world has kept through the United Nations to achieve them by 2030. As part of that, Niti Aayog is estimating the state level sustainable development index. So we need to not only achieve at the national level, but we need to encourage at the local level also, at the state levels also. For that purpose, now Niti Aayog is giving ranks or estimating the progress of the state governments, different states, right? So this is the index which was developed with 113 indicators. A very important fact to be remembered. Total 113 indicators like education, water, cleanliness, drainage. There are certain 113 indicators where each state governments will be assessed and they will be given with the score between 0 to 100. The score will be between 0 to 100, where 100 is the best state and 0 is the least state, right? So based on the performance, it is estimating for 16 sustainable development goals. Out of 17, they are estimating for 16 sustainable development goals. The 17th goal is not included, partnerships for the goals, because state government's partnership and all is not very desirable, or you can say it is very difficult to estimate. So that's why it is estimating only for 16 sustainable development goals. This is also important for our exam. And this is the 4th edition, as we have seen, released for every 2 years. Now computation methodology, they have taken 113 indicators and then 16 sustainable development goals, and their score is given between 0 to 100, 100 being the best state and best performer and 0 being the least performer. Now, what are the key highlights of this report? That is also important for us. Correct, Santi. So what are the key highlights of this report? This is a very, very important one to be remembered for all of your exams. It can be railways, it can be UPSC, it can be for SSC, any exam you need to remember. There are certain key factors to be remembered, key highlights. All the states have shown the improvement in the overall score. When compared to the 2022, all the state governments, all the states have improved. This is one very important. So in exam also they may give you directly this statement. Most of you will keep wrong because you will feel that this is an extreme. But all the state governments has shown. So this is a positive thing for India. And overall score out of 100 on an average, all the states average, it was now 71, improved from 66, right? So it has improved from 2021-22. So in the years they have given the third edition. So earlier it was just 66, but now we have increased by 5. That is also important. We have increased the score by 5 to 71. Fine. And between 2018 to 2023, the fastest moving state is Uttar Pradesh. So the best state which is in terms of improvement is Uttar Pradesh. In terms of the improvement, Uttar Pradesh followed by, so it has increased the score by 25. So Uttar Pradesh is a better performer. Then followed by Jammu Kashmir 19. This is not out of 100. Rather how much improvement they have made in the last 5 years, right? So Uttar Pradesh better performer. Then followed by Jammu Kashmir and Uttarakhand, Sikkim. Right, top 2-3 states you can remember. Now, in terms of best, which indicators or which sustainable development goals we are performing well? If you observe, sustainable development goal 7 is having 96 overall on an average for all the states. Affordable and clean energy is the best performer, right? So 96. Then followed by 89, that is clean water and sanitation is the second best performer, and the third one is 83, that is sustainable cities and communities. So these are the 3 best performer. You need to remember the best performing sustainable development goals, right, according to the report. And the least comes the gender equality. So in terms of gender equality, India is performing very bad, right? And then followed by zero hunger. That means people are struggling a lot related from hunger as well. Then comes the industry innovation and quality education. So these are the least performers, right? You need to remember the top 3 performers and the least performer. A very, very important fact for our exam. And it was estimated for 16 sustainable development goals. And among the states which are having the highest score, the best performer, the top 3 are, you can remember these 3, right? Uttarakhand is having the best score 79, and also Kerala is also having 79, then followed by Tamil Nadu 78, right? These 2 are 79, and Goa is having the 77. So these are the top 3 states you need to remember, which are the best performers from this index. So that is very important for us. And finally, you need to know about the least performer as well. Bihar with 57, followed by Jharkhand. So these 2 you need to remember, right? The worst performers are Bihar, followed by Jharkhand, and then Nagaland. So these 3 states are not performing well. Among the union territories, Chandigarh is the best performer with the 77 score, and the least is Ladakh with 65. So this among the union territories. A very important fact to be remembered. Top 3 states, see, in terms of better performer, it is Uttar Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir and Uttarakhand. Okay, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand are the, in terms of better improvement. In terms of sustainable development goals which we have performed well is about the affordable and clean energy, followed by clean water and sanitation, and then sustainable cities. So these 3, 1, 2 and 3 are the better performers, and the least is the gender equality, right, in worst case, and then followed by zero hunger and quality education are the least performers. In terms of states, it is, you can see here, Uttarakhand, Kerala, which are having 79, followed by Tamil Nadu, which is having 78, then comes Goa, which is 77, right? In terms of worst, it is Bihar, Jharkhand, right? And then in terms of Chandigarh, it is in terms of union territory, Chandigarh is the best performer and Ladakh is the worst performer. Production nuclear energy comes under sustainable development goals. Yes, 2034 Saneem Afan. Yes, it do comes under the affordable and clean energy, right? So affordable energy means paying least amount. So it includes the coal also, not only other like solar and all. Affordable energy also comes the thermal as well as the nuclear also. So this covers under the sustainable development goal 7. Okay, fine. So these are the today's articles. Now we have a factual pointers to be remembered. Factual pointers. The Board for Loss and Damage Fund mechanism has decided to rename it Fund to Respond to Loss and Damage. So they have renamed the Loss and Damage Fund with the name Fund to Respond Loss and Damage Fund. Now what is this Loss and Damage Fund actually? That also we need to know. It is a fund given separately by the developed countries to compensate the losses and damages of the least developed and underdeveloping countries due to climate change. Because in the industrial development era, 19th century, most of the developed countries, they have cornered the benefit. But because of that, there is a lot of climate change and that was impacting the least developed and underdeveloping countries. For that purpose, the countries together under UNFCCC and under UNFCCC in 27th session, COP27 in Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh, in this city 2022, this loss and damage fund was adopted, right? Now it was renamed as Fund to Respond Loss and Damage, right? And it is decided that Philippines will be holding or heading this board, right? This is an important fact. Next one, a new fish, dogfish, deep water dogfish shark. So it is a new shark species that was discovered from Kerala, Saktikulagara fishing harbor. So new fish species. The name is Squaclus hima. So this is the new name, the scientific name, and the dogfish shark was discovered from this region, right, from Kerala. Next one, recently government has declared June 25th to be recognized as a Samvidhan Hatya Divas. So Indian Constitution, abuse day, constitutional abuse day in terms of English. So Samvidhan Hatya Divas was the new day declared by the government, that is June 25th. And why this was declared? So there is a lot of politics involved in this. For us, it is not a matter. And as a government servant who is going to be into the service, you yourself should not attach to any politics. But you need to know the facts because it was declared by the government. So because this was a day when emergency was declared by the then Honorable Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So then there was a emergency times in India. We have emergency provisions in the part 17 of the Constitution. So emergency was declared. So because of that, government is taking this as a Samvidhan Hatya Divas, right? Next one, Sagar Kavach 1/24. So this is a coastal security exercise being conducted on the Andhra coast. And what is the purpose? Effective coastal security mechanism. To have an effective coastal security mechanism, that is the objective of this exercise, right? And the last fact for today, Saudi Arabia will be hosting the first edition of Olympics esports games in 2025. So it was decided that Saudi Arabia will be hosting the inaugural Olympics of esports. Esports means digital sports, right? So 3D, 4D, all those things. So these are the facts for today. I hope that is clear. Okay. Now moving to the practice questions. First question. First question about Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission or Digital Mission. So they have given the Ayushman Bharat the Digital Mission. Okay, so this is a Civil Services 2022 question. Civil Service Prelims 2020 question, have directly taken from it. With reference to Ayushman Bharat the Digital Mission, it is not about overall Ayushman Bharat, but rather digital mission. We have discussed this also. Consider the following statements. Private and public hospitals must adopt it. So every hospital, both private as well as public hospitals, must adopt it according to this provision, right? First statement. As it aims to achieve universal health coverage, every citizen of India should be part of it ultimately. So ultimately it says that everyone has to be part of this mission. Nobody can exclude. So it is saying it is mandatory. It has a seamless portability across the country. So portability means from one place to other place you can shift your treatment as well. So out of this, how many statements or what statements are correct? They are asking the correct statements. Let's see. First one, they are saying private and public hospitals must adopt it. Must means mandatory. No, it is not mandatory. It is just a guideline, right? If it is mandatory, it will become a big issue. So it is not mandatory for the hospitals. It is just a direction, right? First statement is wrong. So we got the direct answer. Second statement is also wrong. It is not a mandatory for all the citizens. It is only for the people who are benefiting it. So there is no mandatory thing. And third one is, yes, it is portable. We can do it. So answer is 3 only. Who have answered this? Only Sahana has answered this, right? And Shanti, yes. So 3 is the only. It is not mandatory. It is just a voluntary. We have discussed this point. Rachana has also answered correct. Ranjan also answered correct. Very good. Next one. Saras cranes are known to migrate long distance, be solitary birds. Solitary birds means they won't combine with any birds. Then live in close association with humans, nest in trees. So what is the feature of this Saras crane bird? First one, they don't nest in any trees, they are big birds. There is a logic, you can eliminate this statement. They are big birds like human side, so they cannot nest. Nests are for small birds. So that's how the logic works. This is a wrong one. Migrate long distance, no. Again, there is a logic. Do you think that this much big birds can fly for longer distance? No, this is also wrong one. Be solitary in birds, no. They will do merge they do accustom the humans. They are living wetlands like ponds, agriculture, fields and all. So this is also wrong and hence answer is C. Yes, Gangadhar, Shanti, Santosh, Shanti as well, Ranjan has answered this correct, right? So the rest of the things are elimination. That's how the logic you have to use. Fine. Next one. What is the primary objective of NASA CHAPEA project? We have seen the discussion on this CHAPEA project. So what is the primary purpose? To simulate the space tourism experience, to study the impact of long duration Mars mission on crew health and performance, to develop advanced propulsion system for space travel, to explore the outer planets of solar system. So very simple question. Right, so this is the third question. So CHAPEA project, what is the aim? So very simple question, we have all seen. This is to stimulate the environment of Mars and to check in the Texas lab, right? So answer, who have answered this? Sahana, Santi, Gangadhar, Santosh, Sanim, Afan, Rachna, Srinath, Ranjan. Everyone have answered this correct. Very good. I'm very happy that you understood the objective, right? Which of the following countries will host the inaugural Olympic esports games in 2025? So sports-based questions are very frequent in the exams. Even in civil service also, they are asking now sports-related things like 48th Olympiad chess they have asked, about the test championship they have asked. So in all the exams, sports are important, right? So where is it going to happen? It's going to happen, we have seen that in the Saudi Arabia. So fourth question, C, Sahana, Santi, Santosh, Ranjan, Sanim, Afan and Santi. Everyone have answered this question. The last question, and let's see, this is the most important question for today and your coming exams as well. Srinath, yes. Rachna, yes, correct. According to the recently released Sustainable Development Goals Index 2024 by Niti Aayog, which of the following sustainable development goal has seen the best performance? Which has seen the best performance? No poverty, clean and affordable energy, gender equality, sustainable cities and communities. So yes, so answer is clean and affordable energy is having the 96 score out of 100. So this is the best performance sustainable development goals in the recent report. Correct, a very good. Santi, Rachna, Ranjan, Santosh, Santi, Gangadhar, Srinath, Sunny Mafan, everyone have answered this correct, very good. So this is all of today's session. I hope you have enjoyed, and we have very good articles. Do revise them regularly. PDF is also attached. I think today's PDF will be a little bit delayed because of the weekend for the technical teams, but anyway it will be going to provide on the Monday, right? So have a great weekend, enjoy and do study as well. Thank you. Have a great evening.